running complete and in complete running order, whatever, however you want to say it or go about it. They're both usable, is what I should say. Ready to run, go to surface, whatever. So I'll make a video now since I'm kind of excited about this. This one has been sitting the last year, 2 year, 3 years. I don't know how long, how many. I lost track. I stopped paying attention to it completely. Got pushed into the backspace over there and hasn't been touched for, like, I don't remember how many years or how long, but so I finally got the carb O-ring kit for that and got that all sorted out and situated, and now it's good to go again. So basically, I still want to do some things to this, and that's what I'm going to really talk about. So as you see here, we still have part of this, most of this part of the sticker. We have this sticker here. We have this sticker here, and we have part of this sticker here, or this sticker here. Where else? Sorry. We have this sticker here, and we have this sticker here. So everything, like sticker, everything is on here. The belt guard, the belt guard here. As you could see, it desperately needs a new belt. It's still working though and hanging on, but there is some major deep cracks in it, so I'm just waiting for it to let go before I replace it, get its full usage out of it. It still grabs plenty hard when you put the tension on it, so that's good. I have a brand new blade for this. I just haven't put it on yet. I've been liking this blade. I've never used one in my life until I got this edger, and I don't think it works as good as this, but well, maybe it does. It's about the same, I guess. They both do the same job. Anyways, so the reason why I'm not gonna use this one anymore until I get around to getting a new gas tank for it, that, or I'm going to find someone to TIG weld it. It probably won't show up in the video. Yeah, it will. Sweet. Okay, this is a two-piece gas tank, and it was like spot welded together. And then they put whatever this is around here to seal it up. But whatever this is has chipped off or fallen off or whatever, and now there's a slow gas leak and a gas strip from the bottom of the tank here. So when I use it, I fill it up only with like maybe this much gas, and I mow three to four houses, and that's 6 to 8 lawns. Okay, I fill it up to here expecting by the time I'm done it'll be empty, but usually it's just in this shallow region, which is still quite a bit of gas. But then after just a few days, the tank is bone dry, and usually it's all wet and gummy and sticky everywhere, and it leaks on the floor. And some people would say, well, why don't you drain the gas out every time you're done using it? That means I have to take the time to pull this hose off, put a container under here, tip it. It's just, that's unnecessary work just to use an edger, to have to drain the gas back out of it when it's done. As you can see, I think the reason why this chipped off or came off is because it looks like someone dropped something heavy on this gas tank. So that's that. Now the thing I want to do with this edger is, when I was a kid, like before I was even a teenager, I think, because my grandpa's had this since before I was born, and I was born in '92. So when I was a kid, you know, growing up, before when I started really getting into lawn equipment, but I didn't actually know anything about them mechanically or how things worked exactly and stuff like that. I thought for some odd reason it would be very cool to take the belt covers off, as you could see, and I also thought it would be cool to take all the stickers off. There's one here. I think there might have been one here. It's cool that I kept that on there, thankfully. I always thought it was cool because it was kind of like reflective or whatever. There was a sticker here. There was a sticker here. And I think that there was a sticker here. So, the things I want to do for this, I live in Long Beach, and the place where they make these is in Cerritos, and that's not, it's like maybe 15 minutes from me, if that. Actually, probably like 10 or 5 minutes from me. Probably like 10 minutes from me, from where I live. So they probably have they wouldn't have the sticker that goes on the gas tank. They wouldn't have the sticker that goes on the cover, but what they would have is the sticker that went here and here, and they would also have the belt cover here. I'm trying to make this all original again, just like how it would have been when you bought it brand new. Also, another thing I did when I was a kid that was very stupid was I took the Zerk fitting off, the grease fitting, and I don't know why, but I was just a kid doing weird things, experimenting with these things, and now that's how I know how to work on them and what to do and what not to do, was through experience and playing around with them. So I just put this on the other day after years and years and years and years and years and years of it not having it and being used, but it turns out it was a little too late. I don't know if you'll be able to see with the belt on there, but there's not a lot of, there's a lot of in and out play, but there's a lot of side to side play, and it gets worse and better as you turn it and spin it around. And as you could hear, it sounds a little, I just filled this up with grease. That's full of grease and it's still making that sound. Anyways, I'm gonna run it until it explodes or falls apart or flies apart. Whatever. So that's the update on that. I can't wait to get the I'm not too excited about getting new stickers for it. I can definitely wait and hold off on that or whatever, or just never do it. But I definitely do want to get the belt covers to make it look more complete and more original. The stickers I'll probably have a very hard time finding for the actual engine itself. They still make and sell the one that that goes on the gas tank here, so that's cool, but they don't make or really sell the ones that go on the cover, so that's a bummer. Okay, another thing is, as you can see, I have both the front wheels in the same exact spot on here, right? So they're both in the same spot. See where the rear wheels end? Okay, another thing is, look at the handlebars. The power trim edger is longer in wheelbase, and the frame, it's longer in the handlebars, and the handlebars are actually, let me get a different angle. The handlebars are lower on the power trim. I'm 6 foot tall, so that doesn't matter. See, they're different in size all the way around, it seems like. So that's another thing. I don't know which one I like better. I will say that the grips on the power trim a lot more comfy on here. See, they got the slots for your fingers to go in. Gives you more control too. Your hand doesn't really slip around. You don't have to squeeze this as tight to hang on to it, so your hand doesn't move around. These aren't really all that comfy to compare to these. The thing I do like about the McLane edgers are these slots. See on here, you just have so many holes right next to each other to pick and choose from. I'm not really a big fan of that. I like having just a few slots to pick from. This, as you could see, you can move this all the way from this, but you can see it still rubs along here when you're trying to choose which one to put it in. There's just too many, I feel like, to choose from. I don't like all that. I just want a few. There's still a lot on here, maybe even the same amount, but I just like that. Another thing I like about this is how they put this together here. See on here, it just goes through this, kind of like that, obviously. I grew up on this power trim edger. I literally grew up on it, using it. Kid, teenager, young adult, all that. So, of course my heart lays with power trim. I will always try to tell people a power trim is better than the McLane, but that may or may not be true. And if someone were to say they like McLane's better, I'm not going to argue that. That's cool, because we all have our own preferences. It'd break my heart to actually say that the McLane edger might be a little more better built, but then I go back and forth on that with myself, actually, and then I end up telling myself that the power trim edger is actually better built. But I don't know, there's just some things, a few different things that I like better about the McLane than the power trim, but my heart will always lay with power trim. One other thing I never really seen on a McLane edger. Okay, we obviously have our blade guard to help keep things throwing back up at us while we're operating. Okay, and then we have this that also helps. Usually there's a little rubber flap here. Okay, the power trim also has that, and it also used to have a little rubber flap here. The one thing that McLane's never have, that I've always noticed, is another guard right here to help keep things from throwing back. See that? Overall though, an edger's an edger, and one's like this, where the handle's here, and it goes down to here, and you move this to put tension to start and stop the blade. They're all about the same. They do the same thing. They all usually last. They don't usually fall apart. They all just work. I think what really matters the most is the engine on them. Also, one other thing to note down for a comparison is, right, you see the thing here for the control selector for the height and the belt tension. Okay, this is welded all together, right? No nuts or bolts holding it on. It's like spot welded into place here. Okay, this is on the McLane. Okay, now on your power trim, if this piece were to ever get damaged here, you could unbolt it and replace it. This one, you would either have to cut this off, grind it off, and then find another good one to weld it back on, because I doubt they sell just that. Or you would have to replace the whole entire handlebar thing. Now, I've never seen one of these broken, bent, or damaged, but I would imagine that it is very possible if something falls on it, you know, if it falls out of the back of your truck and that's somehow the only thing that got really damaged. I'm not really, you know, what scenario would make that part break or damaged, but it's very possible, and I'm sure it has happened. So power trim just made it easier for you to replace that. Also, another thing I really liked on the power trims is there's this bar here that goes from the bars to the head of the engine. On this, nothing. And you know what I've noticed so many times and so often on these McLane edgers is that these bolts here always end up seeming to come loose when I find these edgers. They always seem very loose. That gives it so much support there. I've never had to retighten any of the bolts on this power trim edger. So, anyways, I don't know. And you know what? Another thing I like is I want to push this back like that. Okay. You see, we have these two rails coming off here, off the frame that the engine bolts down onto. Okay. Look how solid this power trim is. Oh, I shouldn't tilt it back, there's a lot of gas in it. But you see, it's a whole entire plate. A big, huge plate right here. Whole thing's a big, nice plate. So, oh well, no leaks from the gas tank that's got a lot of gas in it. And I put this paper towel down yesterday after I got done working on the car to see if it had any drips, and it's bone dry, nothing's wet and no drips, so I actually can take this out now because I know it's good to go. So anyways, I don't know, now that I just really, I mean, I known that this frame has always been like this, and I've known that these frames have always been like this, but I never really put the thought into it that now I really like. You know, earlier I was talking about how I kind of like them both, and maybe the McLane's actually a little better built, but now I'm remembering things like this, no support bar here. I'm remembering that this whole entire thing is welded onto here. This one is just separate from this and whatnot. I guess this one is too, but you can unbolt this. I'm remembering now that I like the frame or the deck or whatever a whole lot better than this. You know, way more solid. I'm liking that this has a guard here and these ones never do. Now I'm really, you know, another thing, look at this bend right here. Okay, I'm remembering now, I'm not just remembering this, I always remember this about these damn things. These McLane edgers, this one doesn't have the problem, but a lot of these free McLane edgers that I always pick up, these damn wheels are so... This power trim edger, I've never had loose or wobbly wheels on it. But all these McLane edgers I always pick up, junk.